Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about the motivation and emotional process. Before going to the topic, you can find the previous classes description in the below link regarding the unit 1, 2 and 3. Coming to the today's topic, motivation and emotional process. First of all, we will see about the motivation. The name motivation itself indicates some motive, some change in behavior. During the recent times, we are observing so many things in schools and colleges. There are so many motivation classes in order to bring up the students, to relieve the stress to them and to achieve more goals. Motivation plays an important role. Here we see some motivation phrase, go up and never stop. Whenever we feel some down in our life, we will feel stress. What will happen, how it will get reduced, like that we will going on thinking. We think about that continuously. So in order to relieve that, we can't stop. We need to do continuously until we rise up. Coming to the topic, definition of motivation. According to Carl, in 1969, he says that motivation is a need gives rise to one or more motives. A motivation is a need. We need to fulfill that need. It gives rise to one or more motives. A motive is a rather specific process which has been learned. It had already learned previously, so it comes under specific process and it is directed towards a goal. In order to achieve some goal, we need to learn the thing and the process continuously goes on in order to achieve that goal. That is called motivation. First of all, how the process goes on in motivation. First of all, need rises in our mind that we need to fulfill that thing, like that. Then from the need, drive arises. Drive or urge leads to the arousal. Our mind thinks to start to have some energy. That is directed to a goal directed behavior. Arousal leads to the goal directed behavior. It helps in achieving the thing, and after achieving the goal, there will be the reduction of arousal. Whatever we think in our mind, it happens means after that the reduction of arousal. Again, some new need comes into our mind, again that leads to drive. Thus, this process is continuously going on. Thus, it leads to the motivation. Coming to the classification of motives. Motives are of different types. There are mainly primary and secondary. Primary in the sense it is also called biogenic, like hunger, thirst, escape from the pain, sex, etc. Hunger in the sense whenever we feel hungry, we want to eat something. Thus, it leads to fulfillment of desire. Then coming to the secondary, it is also called sociogenic. It is of three types: psychological, social and personal. Psychological, it includes security, freedom, adventure, etc. Social approval, social affiliation, gregariousness and acquisition. Coming to the personal, it includes competency, self-concept, values and achievement. If we are having some goal, like we need to get first class in the first prize or anything, in order to get the first prize, the student studies well. So, he achieves the first prize. That is the personal motive. Coming to the theories of motivation. There are mainly 5 theories which explains the motivation: instinct theory, drive theory, arousal theory, incentive theory and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First of all, what do you mean by instinct theory? Instinct theory in the sense, the people are motivated to behave in certain way because they are programmed to do so. For example, if the child sees some animal like cow or anything, first he sees that animal, then he experiences the fear. If the cow comes to me, what will happen, like that. Then finally he tries to run away from that situation. That in this extent theory, this all human behaviors explained with some instinct. Then coming to the drive theory. Drive theory in the sense, it is explained by Clark Leonard Hull in 1943. Explains us that people are motivated to take the certain actions so that they can reduce the internal tension caused by the unmet needs. For example, if the person is motivated to take some food, then the drive arises. I need to take some food. Gastric irritation started, like that we will think. Later, if we motivate to fulfill that need by going there some and buying some food and all, if we fulfill that desire, the motivation will be fulfilled. Otherwise, after the drive reduction takes place, we will feel happy that motivation was fulfilled. It is the drive theory. Then coming to the arousal theory of motivation, arousal is the level of consciousness that caused by the activity in the central nervous system. Here whatever will happens in our mind, it comes into the process. For example, if we are reading a book, we will feel relaxed, like that. From the mind, the central nervous system acts as a main function. Coming to the incentive theory of motivation. In this incentive theory of motivation, we will have the behavioral changes. Like it suggests the people that are motivated to do the things because of external awards. If we take into consideration the students, if the students achieve good marks, they will get the good grades. And in job location and all, if the project workers who performs well, they will get the good rewards. And in jogging and all, in athletics, if they perform very well, they will get the prizes. Like that, incentive theory, the motivation helps us in order to achieve our goals. Finally, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there will be the fulfillment of self needs. It is mainly categorized into three types: self-fulfillment needs, psychological needs, and the basic needs. If we fulfill all these needs, the motivation takes place successfully. Coming to the self-fulfillment needs, there will be self-actualization. Here, if we are achieving our own potential by creating ideas, creative activities, it will improve our self-actualization. Coming to the esteem needs, prestige and feeling of accomplishment. We need to achieve that goal. And basic belongingness and love needs. It intimates the relationships and friends. Safety needs includes the security and safety. Whereas the fulfillment of biological needs such as food, water, warmth and rest, it plays an important role in our life. In order to cope up with the stress and to bring the motivation in our life, these needs to be fulfilled. How it is relevant to nursing? How the motivation needs in nursing? Nursing implications of motives. Nurse can maintain her mental health and stay cheerful. She can feel happy while providing this motivation because her mental health will be improved by following these motivational things. It helps us to develop an insight into the dynamics of motivation. Then knowledge about the physiological needs. If the patient is having hunger or sleep, it helps in the physical care of the patient. By knowing these physiological needs, she can able to provide the physical needs, like to fulfill their hungry, like that. Coming to third one, knowledge of psychological needs. Nurse need to understand about the psychological needs of the clients because she must have the insight how to use them favorably for the patient care. Thus, by knowing the psychological needs, she can fulfill the patient care needs. Better understanding of patient behavior. If the etiology of the patient behavior known to the nurse, she can better understand the patient's behavior in order to reduce her disease symptoms. To recognize the patient needs and desires. Here, whatever the patient needs and desires, if the nurse knows, she can fulfill their needs and desires. It helps her to bring the good relationship between the patient and other health team members. To provide the priority care. Priority care in the sense, who are the high priority people and low priority people, she can analyze. And for the high prioritized people, she can give the better care. To satisfy the patient needs. Whatever the patient's having needs and desires, she can fulfill that thing. To promote healing and health in the patient. In order to reduce the disease term period, she can help the clients. To build good relationship between the patient and the health team members. Then to recognize the motives. It helps her to understand, to recognize the motives that underlying the behavior of your patient. These are all the nursing implications in case of motivation. Thank you guys. Please like, share, comment and subscribe.